Hello guys, and welcome to this series of shell scripting. In this video we are going to discuss about the signals and traps. So let's begin. First of all, signals are basically the messages that can be sent to a particular process, receiving which it triggers a particular behavior. For instance, suppose we want to kill a particular process, then we can send the signal that is sig kill. Similarly, if we want to terminate a process, we can send a signal sig term, or if we want to interrupt the process, our signal will be sig int. Now there are various signals that can be sent to a particular process, and if we want to list out all these signals, then we can use the command kill and then the option as -l. It will list out all the signals available, right? Now trap command is used to define what action to be performed when a particular signal is sent to our shell script. For example, suppose that sig term signal is being sent to our shell script. Now I want to perform a certain operation when this signal is coming to our shell script. In that particular case, I will define my own trap and I will define my own handler that will consist of list of commands that I need to run whenever that particular signal is being sent. Okay, so in short, trap allow us to define our own actions when a particular signal is sent to it. Now let's see an example how we can send a signal to a particular process, right? So we had a shell script with the name sig trap, in which the first statement is the echo, that is script execution begins, then the sleep 40. So let me write here 400, and after that script execution ends. Okay, so let's save it and execute our shell script. So let it execute, and currently if we view the process ID of our sig trap, now if we view the process tree of sig trap, then we will see that sleep command is being run. Okay, now one thing to notice, that if I'm sending a signal to the sig trap, then only that particular process is going to be affected, not any other process that has been spawned from it, right? For example, suppose I'm sending the signal there as kill 15. 15 means the sig term. So here we can see 15 is for the sig term to terminate a particular process, and then we can define the process ID. So our process ID is 23655, correct? So in this particular case, our shell script is going to be terminated, right? But our sleep command will get continuously running. So if I write here PS 23656, that is the process ID of the sleep command, then you will see it is still running. So keep this point in mind, that when we are sending the signal, only the process to which we are sending it, the state of that process is going to change, not the other process that are spawned from it, right? So let me first kill this process also externally. So I'll write here kill -15, and the process ID is 23656 for the sleep command. And again, if I do here PS, then you will see now that process is also terminated. Now let's try to use the trap. Okay, so I'm going to define our trap at the top. I'll write here trap, and then whatever commands I need to run when a particular signal is sent to it. So I'm simply going to write here who am I, and also the pwd command. And for what signal we need to do? For the 15 signal. You can either write the entire name like sig term, or you can also define the numbers. If you want to perform the same actions for the multiple signals, then you can define here multiple signals also. So in this particular case, if either the signal number 15 or signal number 2 is sent to the shell script, then it is going to run the command who am I, and also it is going to run the command pwd. Okay, let me also change this sleep 400 to 40, and let's execute our shell script. Okay, so first of all, let's see our process ID, that is ps-e grab and then the sig. So the process ID is 24. Then let's do the ps tree. Okay, then the -p option 24844. So this is our process tree, and let's try to send a particular signal. So I'm going to send the signal number 15, that is the sig term, and the process ID to 24844, that is our shell script. Okay, so the signal has been sent now. Now one point to remember, that if a bash is waiting for a particular process to be complete and at the same time it receives a particular signal, then our trap is not going to execute until unless that particular process gets executed. For instance, our master process was the sick trap, to which we sent the signal, and we were waiting for the sleep 40 command to be executed completely. So while this command was running, we sent the signal to the sick trap. Okay, so in that particular case, the execution of the sleep command must be completed, only then our trap will be called, right? So in this particular case also, when we send the signal, we didn't see our trap commands gets executed right away. First it waited for the sleep command to be executed completely, then our trap was called. Okay, so first the output was script execution begins, then sleep 40, and after its completion these two commands were executed, that is whoami and pwd. So the output is wiki and also the /home/wiki document, and at the end script execution ends, right? Now instead of providing the command in this fashion, we can also define our own function. For instance, we can write here trap then my_fun. Okay, this will be the function, and we can define our own function with the name my_fun, then parenthesis, curly braces, and inside it I'm going to write here inside trapped function, and then I am going to run the command whoami, right? So let's save it and again execute our shell script, and now let's see the process ID. So our process ID is 25281, so I am directly going to send the signal, that is the sick term, to this particular process, that is 25281, right? So first our sleep command is currently running and we had given the signal. So first we have to wait for the sleep command to complete its process, and then our trap will get triggered, right? So finally our output is inside trapped function, then whoami wiki, and after that script execution ends, right? Now let's see the bunch of example to understand the flow of signals and traps in our shell script. So let's look at the example number 1. I had defined my own function myFun, define the trap, that is the myFun, and then the signal name, okay, that is the sick term. You can either write the name of the signal or you can also write the number. Okay, then script execution begins, sleep 22, and also the script execution end. Notice that instead of writing the sleep here, you can define any other command. Now while this particular command is running, we send the sick term signal to our shell script. So in that particular case, what will be the output? Okay, so first of all it is going to execute this line and it will give the output as script execution begins. Then this command will get completed, and after that our trapped function will be called. Okay, so inside trapped we had written here inside trapped function. So in the second line of output it is inside trapped function. Once the function execution has completed, then the program execution will go next to this particular command, that is echo script execution ends, right? So finally in the output this will be shown. Okay, now let's see the another example which is the same as the previous one, except that in the function I had defined here exit 0. So in that particular case, when we will send the signal, then it is going to print us inside trapped function, but it is also going to terminate our shell script using the exit command. So in this particular case, first this line gets executed, which gives the output as script execution begins, then sleep 22 or any other command execution get completed, then the program execution flows to the my function, it prints inside trapped function, and finally it terminates the script. So in that particular case, the program execution did not get continued, and whatever was written after the sleep command is not getting executed. So our final output is script execution begins and inside trapped function. Now let's see another example in which we are basically overwriting our handlers. Handlers are nothing but the functions or the commands that we need to execute when a particular signal is sent to us, right? So simply put, you can take this function as a handler. Okay, so first of all we are defining that when the 15th signal is sent to it, then call the myFun, and then the echo statement, then sleep 22, then again trap myFun2, and then the 15. So after this line, during the execution of any other command, if the 15th signal is sent, then the function myFun2 will be called. Okay, but before it, if the signal is sent, then the myFun function will be called. So let's say I execute the shell script and the first output is first set of tasks, then this command is running, that is sleep22, and during the execution of this command I send the signal number 15 to our shell script. Okay, so the execution of this command will get completed, and after that our function, that is the myFun, will be called, and it will print the output as inside first trapped function, and then it is going to terminate our shell script. Okay, so in the condition number 1, if I'm sending the signal during this part, then our output is going to be first set of tasks, basically the output of this line, and then the inside first trapped function. Okay, now let's see another condition. So in that one, again I executed the shell script, it run this command and give the output as first set of tasks. Then I allowed this command to be completed. Then we overwrite our trap. After that it is written second set of tasks. So in the output also it will show second set of tasks. And then I'm again defining another command, that is sleep22. And let's say during the execution of this command, I send the signal number 15 to our shell script. Okay, so what's going to happen? First, the execution of the sleep command will get completed, and then it is going to call our my function 2. Okay, because we had overwritten it. So the program flow go inside my fun 2, and in the output it will show inside second trapped function. Okay, then we are terminating the shell script, right? In case if I didn't write here exit 0 or exit any status code, then the program execution will move after the sleep command, and the following code will also get executed. Okay, now let's see another example in which we can define multiple handlers for multiple signals also. For example, we are defining the myFun when the signal number 15 is sent to it, and another function myFun2 when the signal 2, that is the sig int, is sent to our shell script. Okay, so first of all it will give the output as script execution begins, then sleep22. Now while this command is running, let's say I send the signal that is 15. Okay, so in that particular case, first the execution of this command will get completed, and since I had sent the 15 signal, so appropriate function will be called, that is myFun, and the output will be trapped sigterm signal. Okay, now let's say during the execution of this sleep command, I am sending the sig int signal, that is the signal number 2, right? So in that particular case, we had defined our handler to be myFun2. So after the completion of this command, the program execution will move to the myFun2, and in the output it will show trapped sig int signal. Okay, so this is the general flow of signals and trap in our shell script. Now one more thing to remember, there are certain signals like sig kill that has the number of 9 or sig stop that has the number of 19 that cannot be trapped by our shell script. These signals are used by our OS or kernel level, and simply put, these signals are sent when we want to forcefully terminate a process or we want to forcefully stop a process. Now one more important concept here is that what happens when we press the Ctrl C or Ctrl Z while our script is executing. Okay, so to understand it, let me write here instead of 40, 400. Also let me run this sleep command in the background, and above it I am going to write here sleep 1. Okay, sleep 1, and then after the background process I am going to write here sleep 2 and define here another process, that is sleep 400, but it will be in the foreground. Okay, so let's save it and execute our shell script. So currently you will see that the execution of sleep 1 happened, then this process went to the background, then the execution of this line happened, that is sleep 2, and currently sleep 400 is being run. Okay, so if we view the process of sig trap, right, then the process ID is this one. Let me pull it the PS tree -P26356. Okay, so there are two processes running. The first one is the 26357, that is the first sleep that we had defined to be run in the background, and another one is the 26358 that is running in the foreground. Okay, in this particular place. Now whenever I press the Ctrl C, then the sig interrupt, that is the signal number 2, is going to be passed to a current foreground process and to our shell script. And if we are pressing the Ctrl Z, then sig t stp will be sent, that is the stop signal, right? We had already defined a trap for the sig int signal, right? So let's press here Ctrl C. You will see as soon as I press the Ctrl C, first this process get terminated since it was running in the foreground, and also the signal is now trapped by our shell script. So when I press the Ctrl C, you will see that the control moved to the inside trap function, that it is basically inside our function, and then it is also giving the output as who am I, right? But you need to notice here one thing, that 26357, that is the first sleep process that we run. It will still be running, okay, because that process was running in the background. So background processes are not getting altered, okay. But if I write here 58, that was the later process, this process has been interrupted, okay. Now there is one last thing that I would like to tell you, is that sometimes we want to send the signals to all the processes that are sub process of our shell scripts. For example, suppose I want to terminate sleep 400 at end, that is running in the background, and also the 400, right? So in that particular case, if I want to send the signal, then I can write here kill, then dash 15 for instance, and then the process ID. But before process ID, I can define the dash, right? So let's execute our shell script, okay, and let's see the process ID first. So I'm going to write here ps-e, again grab sig trap. This is the process ID. Let's see the ps tree of this process, 27015, okay. There are two processes that are spawned from it, and I simply want to terminate the shell script process and all the processes that are spawned from that. I can write here kill dash 15, and then I can write here dash and then the process ID. So process ID is 27015, okay. So let's press it, you will see, and if we view here ps 27016, there will be no such process. And also if I write here 27017, that is this sleep process, there will be no such process, okay. So in case if you want to terminate all the child processes of our shell script also, then you can use this particular form. So that's all for today guys. I hope you like the video. If you have any doubt, please comment it down. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.